Hey YouTube, and welcome to another video. More pros are arriving in London. This week is the RLCS major in London, and North American pros have slowly been arriving, and we've been trolling for replays of the North American guys or any of the other out-of-region players playing in ranked. And now we got Firstkiller and Daniel. SSG have showed up. FaZe have showed up. Actually, the majority of FaZe has showed up, but not the entirety of FaZe. And they are queuing ranked. This one was from, I believe, maybe earlier today. It might have been yesterday. I didn't double check, but it has to have been no earlier than that because these guys are just now showing up. So we're going to watch from Firstkiller's perspective. Daniel is not playing in the second game, but Firstkiller is, and he is rocking the FaZe decal. I was going to say, I'm willing to admit, we today, before this, we actually had a show match between Torsos and OSM. That'll be going up on the YouTube tomorrow, so get ready for that LAN match. We'll be looking for more LAN matches as far as 1v1s go. We actually almost got a pretty nasty one, and normally I don't like to say, you know, who's going to play beforehand in case anybody needs to back out. Nobody gets upset about it. But because of circumstances out of the players' controls, this one got canceled, and they were both willing to play, so I figured I'd bring it up because it would have been awesome. We were almost going to have TRK versus AJ. TRK versus AJ, but AJ had some flight troubles that resulted in him still not being there, I don't think. I think he gets to London tomorrow, so he has been screwed over. We can all hate United for robbing us of that opportunity. But we'll be looking for more if possible. And in the meantime, we'll have to just accept some interesting ranked games. We got Firstkiller and Daniel. Are they at the LAN facility? Looks like they are. They have the exact same ping as they play against these EU players. We've watched Firstkiller and Daniel play with each other before. This was when they were playing in North America. Everything is shook up a little bit. We saw G2. Nice pass from Daniel to Firstkiller. He's got the Firstkiller goal explosion. Oh, the Firstkiller. The FaZe goal explosion as well. You love to see it. We watched the G2 guys play. What's going on right now? You see you guys high-fiving in person, obviously, at the start of this kickoff. We saw G2 play. They weren't able to get any wins. We'll see if Firstkiller and Daniel can. A lot of people talking about the play style of how North America plays versus EU plays. I don't know if I recognize the two players that these guys are playing against. I did recognize the players as Firstkiller misses a save in net that were in the last game. Mazexi and Lorelei from the video yesterday. If you guys want to see that, that was G2. JNAPS and Atomic playing twos together. I recognize their opponents. Don't recognize these opponents. Doesn't necessarily mean that they aren't top players. EU ranked grinders could by any means take down these North American pros in ranked. That's 50 by first. And he's going to finish it off for a second. It was a great team play we saw from them earlier. Oh, thank goodness he changed his camera there just so we could see a little bit more of that FaZe goal explosion. What do you guys think about the goal explosions? I haven't talked about the goal explosions with anybody on stream or talked about them on the YouTube. It felt like they were a little too standard, like a little too similar. I do appreciate all the ones that have a good amount of color. It looks like the FaZe one actually does have a good amount of color, which certainly makes it one of the better ones. Tons of black and white ones. Daniel pop. Firstkiller's trying to beat up the defender, which he definitely did, but ultimately tapped the ball in a spot that was a pass for the orange team. I think I heard a bunch of mixed opinions on how North Americans play differently in ranked. You think you have a serious trend you see? I'd love to hear it. I haven't watched too much twos ranked both ways to really give you a good idea. The only thing I've studied fairly closely is one's show matches in ranked. Isaac looking for a nasty clip that high in the net, not likely to find it. Firstkiller has been doing a lot of cheating upfield every time he feels like Daniel has any sort of control. He doesn't wait behind the play. He always wants to be ready to continue Daniel's touch. Daniel, that's a nasty double. Firstkiller wasn't ready for it. He had to flip back off the ball. But it was a great reaction time to recognize the double. And now a demo to make sure Daniel's in a 1v1. You're just coming to give Daniel a little help. Here, bud. Let me chip it for you. A little pool shot. Which did just give the ball right back to the EU players, but hey, worth it. letting Daniel know, you know, hey, it's not going to be easy. You're going to get a little bit of this in London if we play against each other as well. Firstkiller taken to the skies, reset near the ceiling, crossbar down and out. And too high of a bounce for Daniel to be able to continue. Not that he didn't try. He wanted to reward Firstkiller for his nasty setup. Firstkiller sees the demo coming. You can see the way he's setting up in net, driving up to the top, constantly staying moving because he knows he'll be a target very, very soon. Looking for one last goal. Didn't find it, and now it's a 2v1. Daniel has the same deal. He needs to avoid getting bumped. Oh my goodness. He did avoid getting bumped. Isaac did everything he needed to do, but the ball does hit the ground. So Firstkiller and Daniel will win this ranked game they played together. But we got one more with Firstkiller. He is not with Daniel in the second one, but we'll get right to it. Firstkiller versus Fairy Peak. Fairy Peak and Parker. He's got Loreley on his team, but we can all just convince ourselves that the other two players aren't on the field, right? We can just consider this a Firstkiller versus Fairy Peak on same ping 1v1. Something I'm sure the 1v1 fans are all desperate to see. We'll see which one of them has the edge here. Loreley, probably the one who updated or uploaded this replay because he's a big replay uploader. Much appreciation to him. He also won both of his games against G2, so we'll see how he can do alongside Firstkiller. Firstkiller, nice kill in the corner. We'll see if he plays any differently. I imagine he's not used to playing with Loreley. Loreley from Turkey is probably never queuing US East. There's lots of EU players who will queue US East. When you're at the top of the top like these guys are, you run out of people to play with. And if you don't want to sit in free play for hours and hours and hours during the off time of your region, you frequently have to queue the other region as well to make sure you can get some games. So anybody on the East Coast and anybody in Western Europe will usually queue both at non-peak times. Now, that's all to say that Loreley probably is not one of those people. I think he gets 140 or something on USC, so he's going to have to really be desperate. Look at Loreley go. Loreley just snipes both players. Firstkiller, yeah, you know he's going to be able to sauce up the respawn player as he drops the ball down. The fake is enough to freeze Parka, and then he just taps it in. Yo, no left goes here. Loreley must have said he was going to take it because it does seem pretty universal in any ranked lobby that with no communication, left is going to go. When I first heard about left goes, I heard it was the OCE guys who came up with it, but apparently it's been around for a long time. Also, I don't know about you guys, but before I knew about left goes, I would just call for the kickoff all the time, and so I didn't even know it existed. And then as soon as I was told it existed, and I stopped calling for it, I realized it definitely does exist. So who knows how long it existed before I finally stopped saying I would go for kickoffs. I don't know if any of you are the same way, or maybe some of you still don't do left goes, and you just call for it every time. That's what I would do. I like to go into the kickoff. Better than going back. Ooh, Firstkiller trying to slot it top left. Two defenders up to stop him. Both of them would have had the save. Loreley tied right now. Firstkiller deciding not to go up for this ball. He could have gone up for it early, probably beaten Fairy Peak out. But if he doesn't beat Fairy Peak out, it is just a wide open net. Guaranteed goal scored on him. And he's not even going to get that good of a touch if he does win the race. He's just going to keep possession momentarily. So playing the safer are the two options. Look at this, another turn up field. We just saw this happen. Just so much confidence, good recognition when he doesn't need to rotate. He's got a teammate who's almost definitely going to boom it up, and he's got faith in them. No reason to get behind the play. Try and see if he can make something happen ahead of the play. Catch the blue team, maybe with only a single defender after the clear goes over the first. You know, take an advantageous position as opposed to just constantly rotating behind the play like you might see a little bit less confident players do. Firstkiller losing this dribble, though. Fairy Peak, great interception. I know we all hope to see Fairy Peak back playing in the RLCS as soon as possible. Parka going to get taken off the map. Fairy Peak is there quick. Try and make something out of that possession, but it's dropped down for first. He's looking for Loreley. It goes over the top of Parka. Can Loreley make something happen? Chip off the back wall. Firstkiller, smart not to go up for it. Never stood a chance. That would definitely have been a Fairy Peak steal in breakaway if he was trying to get that goal. Loralee looking for Firstkiller again. This is a great pass. Firstkiller going for the double. Oh, off the post. Going to be finished. It is. Wow, great play. Great team play from the North American and the European. Or Turkey. What's the deal with Turkey? I think I've Googled it before. It's like partial European. I don't know. NA education. Oh, look at that 360. 360 wave dash to try and chip it away. Very peak. Oh my goodness, I'm surprised that was a goal. Looking at Loralee and net, thought for sure that'd be a save. Didn't seem like that much of acceleration to the play. But it is a goal. Firstkiller to the corner. Take from the ceiling. Trying to hover with the ball, but not likely he'll be able to protect it from Fairy Peak's challenge. And Fairy Peak knew that. Oh, was Firstkiller hoping for there. Wow, what a dive. I don't know if he was expecting him and Loralee to like pinch it into the net or what. Or just thought Loralee would completely leave the play. Loralee tried to chip it towards him. He's maybe working towards a pass, but First just dove so deep. They are now down. Loralee, potential open net. He slots it. 3-3 with 30 seconds left to go. The crucial moments coming right up. Firstkiller going to cheat up. So is Parka. Parka maybe had a chance on a direct shot on the net, but doesn't hit. Firstkiller, is he going to go for a long shot? Fairy Peak is showing a bit of an open net, but it would have had to be extremely strong and placed perfectly for Fairy Peak not to be able to get there. First is going to chip this towards the corner. Great pinch, and this time Firstkiller is going to try and beat it. Wow, what a read. He knew he wasn't going to win the race, so instead he just immediately adjusted to where Fairy was likely to touch it, and he was completely correct. Loralee, high chip. First, got to reset up near the ceiling. This ball likely to hit the ground. No, Loralee is going to try and keep it up. Now Fairy first. Oh my goodness, this ball just will not. That's got to be it. Okay, it hits the ground. Overtime between these four players. First, once again, not going to kick off. When in the same position with Loralee. Parka, ceiling reset. Oh my goodness, Parka just clipped. Parka just absolutely clipped on him to end the game. Let's just watch it from Parka's perspective before we say goodbye to the YouTube. Look at this clutch. Ceiling reset, jump to push the ball down as he comes off the ceiling, and then the use of the flip. That was a really good shot by Parka. Not even Firstkiller could stop it. So Firstkiller going even in these ranked games. When he had Daniel on his team, he gets the dub. But with Loralee against the Peak, couldn't do it. Look at the little carrot. Well, tomorrow, guys, you will see OSM versus Torsos. I'll be looking for more interesting replays while these guys are in London. I'll see you next time.